Coming up on the Week 2 edition of Vegas Nation Blitz.
And I get it, we're protecting our teammate, but we never want to put ourselves in a position where it's possibly ejection, fines, or suspension down the road.
Tempers flare and punches fly in SoCal as the Raiders drop their season opener.
We got to do whatever it is to score more than 10 points. That's not going to be good enough in the National Football League.
How the team is handling the fallout and moving on to Baltimore. Vegas Nation Blitz starts right now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Accountability, a theme that looks to run through this Raiders team from top to bottom since the team made it back to Vegas after week number 1. Hello again and welcome back to Vegas Nation Blitz. I'm your host, Dominic Lavoie, and you heard it there first from head coach Antonio Pierce. After the Chargers took down the Raiders in week 1, 22-10 at SoFi Stadium, he isn't shifting the blame anywhere for that outcome. Now focus shifts to week 2. Short memory, as many say in sports, as the Silver Black take on the Ravens out in Baltimore. Here are our top stories coming out of week 1 and heading into week 2 is Raiders beat reporter Vinny Bonsignore. Vinny, what do you got for us?
Vinny Bonsignore for Vegas Nation here at the Raiders practice facility in Henderson. Well, the Raiders get back to work today in preparation for the Baltimore Ravens. A tough road game in Baltimore on Sunday. A couple of things I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Can the Raiders get their run game going? It was feeble against the Los Angeles Chargers, and that really contributed to the day that Gardner Minshew in the passing game had in terms of time of possession, not being able to punch the ball over for 1 yard on short yardage situations, multiple short yardage situations. It really was a recipe for disaster not being able to run the ball. Can they do that against the Baltimore Ravens? And then you talk about taking care of the ball. 2 huge turnovers by Gardner Minshew, one a big fumble that ruined any momentum that the Raiders were building at the end of the first half. And then Zamir White with an equally demoralizing fumble in the first half that denied the Raiders an opportunity to maybe score some more points in that half. So taking care of the ball, running the ball. Offensive line, running the ball harder. Those are the 2 things that I'm going to be keeping an eye on today and this week as the Raiders get prepared for the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore.
Thank you for that, Vinny. And coming up next, a childhood dream in real life. We hear from Jonah Laulu, a Vegas native, as he finally suits up for the NFL for his hometown team in the Las Vegas Raiders. But we're going to have to step away for a moment. Stay with us. You're not going to want to miss that story and the rest of the Week 2 edition of Vegas Nation Blitz.
D&R House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler, the perfect bridge between internet pricing and a traditional brick-and-mortar jewelry store. We specialize in loose diamonds, natural and lab-grown, engagement rings, fashion jewelry, custom design, and jewelry repairs. We operate by appointment in our beautiful offices in the One Summerlin building, downtown Summerlin. Our great relationships with the world's largest diamond wholesalers and our low overhead saves you hundreds, if not thousands, on your purchase.
Welcome back to Vegas Nation Blitz. I'm Heidi Fang. It was something out of a movie. Those were the words of Las Vegas native Jonah Laulu, who showed up for the Raiders Pro Day and through a long process ended up on their roster. Laulu was drafted in the 7th round by the Indianapolis Colts, but when he was released, the Raiders snagged Laulu to get a little bit more juice on the D-line, according to Coach Pierce. Now the Centennial High product is back in his hometown with an opportunity to play with men he looked up to, and even some he took some moves from to level up as a pro.
I literally watch, YouTube videos and Instagram videos of cut-ups of like Max Crosby, and I literally watch how he gets off, and I literally have probably still clips on my phone from 2019, 2020, when he first came, and I was like, wow, this dude's crazy, because how he runs all. You could just tell game. You could tell game when you see it. So I was watching him, and I just literally screen record it, and then you can watch something on your phone really slow, and you slide it on the bottom. I really just sit there and slide it, and I'd be in my room, practicing stuff. It definitely stole it from me. I don't know why. Being around guys that you kind of looked up to and idolize, it's weird because you have to treat them like normal. So I don't want to act weird because acting normal around people that you idolize, it's hard. So I just kind of just don't talk to nobody. They think I'm quiet, but I'm really not quiet.
The NFL's got lots of history. We're going to take a dive into the history of this matchup. Ravens, Raiders, 2 AFC staples. Let's go ahead and flash back to the last time these 2 met. Now, when was that? Well, it was way back in 2021, week number 1 of the NFL regular season at Allegiant Stadium. Monday Night Football, fresh out of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the first regular season game in Las Vegas with fans. What a scene, right? As for the game itself, it was an absolute thriller. Some old names for the Silver and Black you haven't heard in a while. Well, maybe not this one. Derek Carr was under center for the Silver and Black. He ended up tossing the game-winning touchdown in overtime to Zay Jones, a wild overtime period at that. The video of that game-winning score was shot by yours truly at 19 years old, as I managed to get tickets to that game for my first NFL game ever, and I can tell you it was a wild atmosphere and an electric start to a new era in Raiders history. Now, before we let you go, we got to get some fast takes in here as well. Here's Adam Hill with his fast takes on Week 1.
Hey, it's Adam Hill, and it's time for your fast takes. And what better time to revisit the world of analytics? I know, it's a scary word for a lot of people, but it was a big topic last week with the Raiders playing against the Chargers. Antonio Pierce's decisions to go for 1 4th down early in the game, also to punt later in the game. Analytics comes into it, but let's stop calling it analytics. Let's call it math. It makes it easier for people. And in fact, I'll break it down even more. It's like GPS. There's no guarantee that it's right. But if you follow it often enough, you're going to be right more often than not. Yeah, maybe your crazy uncle knows a shortcut that's going to work every once in a while. That'd be punting on 4th down, the wrong decision. But for the most part, if you follow the roadmap that analytics gives us, it's a better path to victory more often than not. That's how we need to start talking about it, because analytics scares a lot of people. You see a failed 4th down. Oh, analytics told you to do that. No, math told you to do that. It's the right thing to do for the most part. And I think if we start talking about it in a simpler way, it'll be simpler for people to understand. That's something that we need to start doing moving forward. Hopefully it can be understandable and digestible for people, but it is the right way to go about making decisions for coaches. Antonio Pierce has a staff of analytics people. Hopefully he starts listening to them more. It'll be a very, very successful formula for the Raiders going forward.
Well, there you have it. Thank you all for tuning into the Week 2 edition of Vegas Nation Blitz. Make sure, as always, to follow us on social media and the web to get your Raiders news and updates throughout the week, and to hold you over until we come back here this Saturday for Vegas Nation Game Day ahead of the action out in Baltimore. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.